Hi, crochet friends. That's a quote by one of my favorite crocheters, Jonah Larson. You can read more about him at jonashands.com if you'd like to. Have you ever thought about what the word hooker means here in the United States? Most people would think about a prostitute. Now, in this case, we're not talking about a prostitute. We're talking about somebody who likes to crochet. Crochet is the French word for hooking. And here in America, it's just common knowledge amongst the crochet community that crochet is used in lieu of hooking because of the negative connotation that comes along with a hooker. 45 million Americans like to crochet, according to CraftyYarnCouncil.com. And it gained a lot of popularity during COVID times because a lot of people were stuck in their house with not a whole lot to do, unfortunately. So they picked up a yarn and a hook and started to crochet. So what crochet is basically is using a hook, a little tool called a hook. I have here a larger hook and a thinner hook. And you just loop either thread or yarn together to turn it into a useful item or a piece of artwork. And I have right here, my hat on my head is actually something I made with a larger hook and used yarn to do it. This right here, a doily that my dear mother made, is so cool. I hope to one day be as good as her, and she does them little tiny crochet stitches, so she's pretty good with that. So basically crochet is using thread or yarn to connect a bunch of stitches together to make a cool project. Crochet can be traced back to the early 1800s. Before then, knitting was more popular. Now, knitting and crochet are sometimes confused because the finished products look alike, but knitting is used with 2 needles, crochet is used with 1 hook. So knitting evolved around the medieval times, whereas crochet came around maybe in the early 1800s, around that time. It gained popularity in Europe, and then the Industrial Revolution came around where crochet just, boom, it just exploded in popularity. Most of my information, a lot of it I got from 4 particular articles. Crochet is a Guy Thing Too by Gwen Kinsler. Crochet Spreads Around the World. Enigmatic Origins of Crochet, and Crochet Through History by Dora Orenstein. She wrote all 3 of those articles. So crocheting through the ages, it just kind of evolved from there and just grew in popularity. They started making crochet magazines. Crochet tools became more readily available. Crochet hooks, either made of metal, plastic, or bamboo. So the earliest crochet pattern can be traced back into a Danish magazine in 1824. Basically, a pattern is a written set of instructions that somebody could follow to come up with the finished masterpiece. So yarn, you can find it in any place. Hooks, you can find them in any place, any hobby store, online, wherever you might like to. And the coolest part about crochet is it is very therapeutic. CraftyYarnCouncil.com states that 85% of crocheters surveyed found it to be therapeutic. And I myself, I've been crocheting for 11 years, so I can attest to that. You're sitting there, you know, following a written pattern or just counting your stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and your mind is just focused on that one thing. So because of that, I personally find it very therapeutic. So when you think about it, who do you think crochets most? You want to think about like old grandmas or, you know, old ladies, but actually it's gaining popularity in the younger groups. I don't want to give away my age, but I don't think I look like quite an old lady yet. So men can actually crochet too. It's just thought to be just a woman thing, but you know, men can crochet too. So I want to go back to the reference I made earlier to Jonah's hands. Jonah Larson, he's a crochet prodigy. He started crocheting when he was 5 years old, and now he is 14 years old. So he's got his own website, jonashands.com, and he's got quite a following on Instagram. So I find him to be pretty inspirational, which goes to show that not only men can crochet, but you can even make a career out of it if you wanted to. So I just want to end by saying, if the mood strikes, pick up a hook, pick up a yarn. You can make some pretty cool stuff. Octopus Pal, he flips from happy to mad, and just crochet away.